So here we are looking at a picture.
Got a little tag on it.
Yep, I see that tag. So that's a 1934 Ford sedan.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, I'm going to put this next to you here so I can get a picture of you and it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was your first car was just like that, except you said it wasn't quite that shiny and pretty. Yours was used.
Yeah, mine was totally used.
How much did you pay for it?
Probably $200. I don't know if that much, but
$200. I remember you told me that your brother helped you
yeah.
because you had a job, but you didn't have the money altogether.
No, I didn't have that much money.
So your
$200 was maximum.
yeah. So your brother loaned you the money
Mm-hmm.
and helped you get the car,
Right,
and then you paid him back.
right.
So what year was that you got the car? How old were you?
Oh, I was much over 18.
So around 18. So that would have been like you were born in 1919. So you add 18 to that, 1937 or 38. And what year is that car? What year is that car? It's a 34, is it?
Yeah,
So it would have been just like 5 years old at that point.
yeah, probably.
Something like that. And was it black like that?
Yeah,
I think they all were black then, weren't they?
I think so.
So how did you pay your brother back? Did you have a job?
Yeah, and I gave him a little at a time.
Yeah, and what was your job?
Delivering things to people's homes.
So did you go door to door?
Mm-hmm.
Went door to door, and what did you do? When you knocked on the door, what did you say?
I'm going to deliver some things for him. I'm here to deliver whatever I had.
So did you have like bags of stuff or boxes that you carried around or a cart that you took door to door? You took stuff door to door, right?
Yeah,
So how did you get it there? Did you carry it? Was it on wheels?
no, not on wheels, not anything but me.
You got a tear falling down, Mom. Your eyes are watering.
I know. I just held it in my hands, you know.
Right. So you just held the packages in your arms and went door to door. And what kind of things were they?
They were mostly like flat pictures.
So were these things like picture frames that people could buy? What else? So you were selling items door to door that people could buy. So you were kind of like a door to door salesman.
Yeah,
So that was your first job?
that was my first job.
And do you remember how much you made?
Probably $15 a week.
$15 a week. Was it based on what you sold, or was it just got the same amount regardless of how much was sold?
It was based on what I sold.
So the more you sold, the more money you got.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
But before that, when I was younger, I had a job at a bean factory.
A bean factory?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of bean factory?
Beans.
Did they can them? Can the beans?
No, they were just dry, regular navy beans.
Dry beans. So that they put them in bags?
No, they had them on a table, and we sorted through them and took out the bad beans.
So you were on a table just looking at beans and getting rid of the bad beans.
And the other ones just shifted kind of on
Like a conveyor belt?
yeah, and went along and just went up to where they were,
Wherever they were processed or something, huh?
packed or something.
Right. And so you were there just looking for bad beans. What did a bad bean look like?
Just not right, and just not a good
Like
bean.
black or
Well,
shriveled or dry or something?
yeah, anything.
Anything that looked out of the ordinary.
Yeah,
You wanted all the beans to look the same.
yes.
Couldn't have any nonconformist beans.
No, they were all bad beans. And you could tell a bad bean when you saw one.
You could tell a bad bean when you saw one. That's very true. That's still true today. You can still tell a bad bean when you see it. And then it became a has-been.
Yeah. So that was my first job, really.
So that was your first job working in the bean factory.
Yes.
And then you got the door-to-door salesman job.
I actually didn't work in a factory. It was outside.
Oh, so it was just a place that they processed the beans outside.
Yes.
I was thinking more of a factory setting. No, it was outside.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't inside. It was outside.
Interesting. So was that close to your house that you could walk there?
Yeah.
And where were you living at the time?
In Pinckney.
What's that?
In Pinckney.
Pinking?
With my brother, Pinckney.
So what's pinking?
Pinckney.
Pinckney. Pinckney. Thank
A
you.
little city.
It's in Michigan,
Yes.
near Detroit.
Yes.
Okay. So you lived in Pinckney with your brother,
Right.
and so you could walk from his house to where this bean line and processing, whatever they did with the beans, and you'd work there.
Yeah.
How much did you get paid there? Do you remember? $1 a day, a couple dollars a day, something like that, or was it more or less?
Something like that.
Something like that. So, and how long did you work there? Do you remember? Weeks or months?
It's hard to remember that.
Yeah. That's not important. I'm just curious. So,
Well, I'm kind of really curious too. Last.
so how long did you live with your brother?
Well, it was his house. It was my house as a child growing up.
Okay.
Then we moved out, and my brother and his wife moved in. And they lived there.
So that was when your mom passed away that you moved out? And then your brother and his wife moved in?
And then I lived with my sister for a while. And then I moved back to my brother's house, my house. And that's where I started picking beans.
Okay. So how old were you when your mom died? Were you
14.
You were 14. And how old were you when you moved back in with your brother?
About 16 or
So 16 or 17 or something like that? So a couple of years you were with your sister. Were you just living with one sister, or did you live with more than one sister?
I lived with two sisters.
So which one did you live with first?
My oldest sister,
What was her name?
Mary.
So you moved in with Mary first after your mom passed away. You moved in with Mary and her husband. What was his name?
Floyd.
Mary and Floyd. And then You lived with them how long?
Gosh, I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. And then you lived, why did you leave there to move in with your other sister?
Well, my brother lived there with me at my sister's.
Oh, so you and your brother both lived there with Mary and Floyd.
And then my brother decided to move. He didn't like it there. He decided to move away. So he moved and left me there. He said, Renee, I hate to tell you this, but I'm going to be leaving here. I hate to leave you alone, but I gotta go.
Mm-hmm. So he said, I've got to go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I hate to leave you here, but I can't stay here anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You got another tear coming out of your eye. I'm going to get it. I love you, Mama. So then you stayed there for a short while,
Mm-hmm.
and then he ended up getting married before long.
Yes.
And then he moved back in the house that you had moved out of, that you had grown up in at some point. Right?